And now we're going to go straight back into our favorite part, grilling you folks across the mixing board. Welcome back to the studio, Will and David. What did you think of that mix?
David's mix was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, nothing I've ever heard before for sure. I was not ready. My body was not ready.
Never in the United States.
I was bending backwards.
That's the best way to describe it. It was like a pulsating, undulating mix. A lot of people go for that 4-on-the-floor disco beat. But
it's like a pumping, like psychedelic techno groove.
It was like perfect for the October spooky vibe, for real.
I was letting it wash over me. Do you feel like when you mix, you let the music wash over you, or is it a very focused task? Are you like really in the element?
Absolutely. I know, like, especially when I first started playing, like, I got really nervous before gigs, and one thing that kind of calmed me was telling myself that the music was bigger than me in a way, and yeah, when I play, I just like to, fully use myself in the focus of it, and it just kind of takes over and washes it.
How long have you guys been producers? You can start, or you can start, however you want.
The person who taught me how to DJ was first and foremost a producer, so I pretty much started learning how to produce right when I was learning how to mix.
Oh, cool! Simultaneously,
which was about 4.5 years ago.
What about you, Will?
I produced my first track, I think about 2.5 years ago, actually, and I didn't start playing out until about 2 years ago.
Oh, so you're both pretty recent. I mean, literally recently on the scene, as in you just came to the United States, as far as David's concerned.
And Will has been in the scene, but he's a recent producer.
Yeah, you're now a creator rather than just a participant, a consumer.
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, and touching back on the subject about Nocturne, tell us what sets you apart from other techno events.
I feel like a lot of techno in the United States is not very like proper, like on a world aspect. Like a lot of people don't play like what I would describe as like world-class techno. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of it is like from like very popular labels, and it's not very underground. You hear a lot of like, I don't know. I don't want to name any specific labels particularly.
Yeah, name and shame. This is the place to do it. No, I totally know what you're talking about. And actually, I was looking to buy some tickets for an event, and I noticed they had like a special, what kind of events are you interested in? And they had 5 options. The first 2 were just, like moombahton, reggaeton. Another one was dubstep. And I'm not joking, one of the options was top 40. That was the genre of music that this person could have marked that they were interested in. And that made me, I like physically was withdrawn from the computer.
There are facets of this world that I just don't understand at all.
And that may be someone's jam, but I'm so glad that there's people like you two who are here bringing your art to the ears and minds of people who are willing to go out there and try something new.
Absolutely. That's definitely my objective with Nocturne too, is to kind of get some people in that may not be exposed to this music.
Because what we're trying to bring, you really kind of have to have a trained ear. To a lot of people, it just sounds really harsh when they first hear it and they hate it, So you really kind of have to be in the know with the scene and the music itself to have a good time at our event, I would say, to be, open-minded. And we want to be kind of extra strict with who comes because we want to have a proper vibe,
Yeah, I know, you're right. So where do you guys get your inspiration to create Nocturne?
For me, I feel like over the past few years that I've been throwing events and working with other people throwing events, I've just kind of like come to this point where like my musical taste is maturing, and I went from playing like really, really, really hard techno that wasn't even this as fast as what we're doing now.
It wasn't even that hard.
Yeah, it wasn't even really that hard. I didn't know what hard meant, you know what I meant? So like, I guess it's just now I'm kind of maturing and my taste is maturing, and I met David and we've kind of started working together and just kind of blossomed into like, I don't know, this just a different vibe of techno than I'm used to playing.
That's great. And is there any advice that you would give people that are trying to create their own event? Now that you just came up with this new event, like what would you tell people?
Stay grounded in the community. That's the most important part.
Go out every night.
If you're trying
that's how you get known.
If you're putting money ahead of the music, then that's
a non-starter right there.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of people come on that would say something really similar. They want to make sure that the culture comes first in this. And I want to kind of expand upon that. You mentioned you want to kind of have a curated crowd at Nocturne. Is there a way that you could describe what that curated crowd consists of?
Yeah, what is your vision?
The freaks.
Yeah.
I don't know, not
Bring out
not
the freaks
that
at
negative,
night.
negative connotation, but like really what I learned in Berlin, it's like there is like nightlife culture, you know, and it's very appreciated there and respected there. The government even supports it, whereas here, you know, nightlife's kind of looked down upon. It's for almost the outcasts in a way. And it's really not, you know, seen well with law enforcement and a lot of other people, but really kind of like with Nocturne, it's like almost like bringing out the beauty in the darkness, you know?
Yeah.
And like a place where people who might normally not get the respect, like in a normal social setting, where they can kind of just come and be free and be a freak and, you know, get lost in the music. And if you're kind of judge people, then we're going to tell you to leave, you know?
Well said.
Yeah, that's the
Come and
message
get
that
a
you're
good time.
trying to put out there
Yeah,
through
exactly.
through music and through Nocturne.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
It's like it's a dark environment, you know what I mean? And it's definitely kind of a little scary, but it's definitely not something I want to be like uninviting in any way. You know what I mean?
It's like a welcoming, warm darkness.
Yeah, a friend of
Welcome,
mine
freaks of
said
the
that. He
night.
asked, why do people want to just like sit in the dark and listen to music? And I asked him, why do you want to read a book? All you're doing is holding a tree carcass and reading something that
I
someone
enjoy
wrote a
both.
long time ago. Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. Sometimes you want to get a little freaky, get a little weird, and like you said, bring out the beauty in the darkness. When can I buy a T-shirt that says that, by the way?
Beauty in the
T-shirts,
darkness.
man.
Stay tuned.
Beauty in the darkness. Okay, let me
Yeah.
rephrase. When can I get that spray painted onto my chest?
Right?
Probably the first show.
Yeah. After
Radical.
this,
I'll
we're
hook
gonna
you
get
up
some
with
spray
that.
paint.
Get a tattoo.
Yeah, can
Nocturne.
we just
Fury of
tattoo?
the
We just do
night.
our logo on you real quick. That'd be
Right?
Yeah, cool. Let's
Just
just
get
do a
that
little like
tattoo.
poke and egg.
Yeah,
Just, I'll lift up my shirt, and right here in the studio, we'll use this little aux cable. We'll sharpen it up with my pocket knife.
so easy.
Perfect.
That's dedication to your craft right there.
Okay, guys. So here comes a question that I always ask our guests, and it's, what do you think of the underground music scene in San Diego? And it could be, we can start with the positives first, and then the negative aspects.
All right, positives first. I think it's really cool that we have a lot of different events around San Diego that are outside of like the mainstream downtown crowd. I also think that it's really cool that we have so many different promotion groups doing so many different vibes and throwing around so many different kinds of ideas. You see, like, you go to a disco party at night, or you'll go to a techno party at night.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything.
And it's cool that we have spin. It's up until 4, so it's a little bit. You get a little bit of a taste of like what the rest of the world is like, because I feel like most major cities you can go out all night long. You know.
Yeah, or you can just go to TJ. You know.
Yeah, it's like TJ's a really good example. I mean, you can be out for 3 days in a row and not, you know, not
It's
have
true.
to
My
stop.
girlfriend always complains about how lackluster the clubs are here in America, because where she's from, they're open all night long, like you said, and you know,
Till
like the
sunrise.
discotheque culture, it never died. It was never seen as that negative
For
thing
sure.
that it is here. So people just
Exactly.
go out from all walks of life. They're like, hey, I'm gonna go party, and they're welcomed and they're accepted, and that's
Yeah,
your
it took me
weekend.
a long time for me to be like, I'm gonna go out tonight and not feel any little bit of guilt about, like, you know, partying and being in the scene and staying up later than I should, maybe not sleeping enough before I go to work in the morning or
Yeah,
whatever.
who's
Yeah,
the
but it-
person judging you for how late you should be up?
Exactly. It's just
Yeah.
like my parents' voice in my head from when I was a kid, probably
Yeah.
something conditioning me.
Oh,
like
you
that.
already know.
You're
Your
supposed to
parents
be,
like, what are you doing out so late?
Yeah.
Like,
I called my
No, but
really
you're
funny. I
you're-
called my father the other morning in the warehouse at 9:30 a.m. and I was in New York and he was also in New York, and I was just like, "Good morning, Dad," and I was still in the warehouse at 9:30, just dancing, having a great time.
But that's how you get your experience, and you're also like studying the events and getting known, because that's how you do it. You have to be out there. You have to like get your name out there, meet people. That's how you create connections and networking and all that.
Absolutely. Any more positives about the scene, David?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How community based it is. I mean, I've been to a lot of events around the world, and like there's nothing like San Diego really,
You're right.
except for maybe Moon Tribe. But
Yeah, we'll try something else.
it's like it's really so special how kind of almost everybody knows everybody, and it's just friends getting together, you know, and going out and having a good time, celebrating each other, which is what it's all about. You know, it's not like really. It's pretty welcoming. You know, it's not very pretentious like say Berlin. You know, it's just about coming together and having a good time.
Yeah. So what about the
Yes.
negatives?
Yeah, where can you see this scene improving in the future?
Production quality, I feel like, and I feel like a lot of that is like people don't want to come out and spend a lot of money on tickets right now. Like, I feel like people worry about a $30 or $40 ticket sometimes when it's worth it. Like, I just came back from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn you go to a warehouse party and it's $40 at the door, but you go in and there's a giant, amazing Function One sound system,
Yeah.
like visuals all over the ceiling.
6
everything.
18-inch subs.
Yeah, it's just great. More than that. You know what I mean?
16 18-inch subs.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking. You know what I mean? It's like something very special, and it's like worth the money to me to spend. I'd rather spend like $100 on a ticket
On
for
something quality.
a really
some
good
quality,
12 or 13,
yes.
14-hour party. And so the other part of that is that, like, yeah, the clubs aren't open that late here, and the warehouse spaces are hard to come by in San Diego, so you can't really throw parties like that here right now. You know what I mean? It's difficult.
So that's a good way we can improve in the future.
Absolutely. Break the law more and don't be scared.
What
Ben booths.
are some of the challenges that you guys faced so far? It could be as producers or as experienced creators.
Huh.
I know that's a deep question.
Promotions can be pretty difficult,
Yeah.
especially because personally, just I don't like to annoy people.
Oh my god, I know.
Like I don't want to spam people and just be that guy. But it's important with reaching an audience.
For
So
sure.
I think an important delineation between being that guy and being an effective promoter is making sure, like you said, you're reaching that curated crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and your
exactly.
posts have to
And the
be
way you
engaging.
which is
do it.
honestly pretty hard to do. That takes time. You really have to
Absolutely.
build a foundation for that with people.
If promoting was easy, everyone would be doing it.
I know. Trust me, I was promoting with a brand and for like a year, and I just felt like a word because I was just bombarding everyone with posts about this going on and this going on and what, and it was
this Tuesday.
I know, and I really hated it, but I'm like, you know what, I'm getting the experience, and now I know I don't like to do this. But now that we have the show, I'm trying to make it cohesive, like I'm not bombarding people with posts like every 5 minutes, like you have to think of how you're going to do it.
Sure thing.
Absolutely.
I
You
mean,
need to build a
Facebook.
foundation to do that.
You need a little bit
Yeah.
more tact.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there you go.
Now,
So-
what we have next here.
I guess we're ready for Will's.
Oh man,
Mix.
this is a sick one.
Any notes you have coming into this one?
The intro is just like ridiculous. I was like,
We like
I
ridiculous.
had the
Bring the
biggest
crazy.
smile on my face the entire time I played this.
I'll be watching your eyes as I
You're
bring
liquid
up the data
madness.
on this one. Radical, we're going to come back a little bit more towards the end here. We're going to have a couple more closing notes with them. But in the meantime, you're listening to Scarlett Letter.
On
and here we
KCR
go,
College
on
Radio.
KCR College Radio.
That went great. You
It sounds so weird on this.
guys sound like really good.